Hi, Greg Szocs here again with Lifesaving Society. We're going to talk a little bit about self-rescue and assisted rescue. If you happen to go through the ice, remember, all ice is unsafe until deemed tested. Many ways you can test ice. Just a couple of tools, doesn't have to be any fancy. This is an ice climbing axe. It chips some nice chunks. You can really get a kind of an idea of what the ice is like, whether it's blue ice, white ice, at the general quality. Use the back end of this to listen to ice. Very solid thud. If I was hearing an echo, sign of a hollow sound, I'd be a little bit more concerned. I can also walk with this for stability on the ice. As well, I can use it just to give myself peace of mind as I'm moving forward to wherever I'm going. Remember, it's never safe until it's tested. Okay, so I'm walking along, I'm assuming everything's good. It has been good, but all of a sudden something goes wrong and I end up through the ice anyway. I'm in the hole, pretend I'm in the hole. All right, this is my ice surface. Normally I would not be in the prone position at this point. The only thing that I would have on the ice is probably my elbows. And I'd be sitting here probably trying to catch my breath as I am right now, trying to get used to this, the feel of what I've just encountered. It's a shock to your system and mentally as well. I wasn't expecting this. Nonetheless, here I am. Luckily for me, I've got a few tools with me that are gonna help. First of all, I have a whistle that I can blow that'll help me attract attention for anybody that's within, they say 2 nautical miles. I think we're all familiar with the whistles. I also have, because I was planning on going onto the ice, so I brought my ice picks with me. These are critical. You can imagine if you've ever drilled a hole in the ice, the water and the ice are not always at the same level. Most of the time, the water is below the ice level. Could be 3, 4, 5, could be 10 centimeters, depending on what the water levels are doing and time of year, so on and so forth. So now, I've got a ledge that I've got to climb to get out of here. If I don't have something that's going to give me a purchase in the ice to help me do that, it's going to be extremely difficult for me to get out of this hole. I have to use everything that I've got, and I've got to plan this. So when I'm ready, I'm going to start kicking. Kicking is going to bring my legs and my feet up to the surface. If you've ever held onto the side of a swimming pool and started kicking your legs, you'll find that they rise in the water. So when I'm ready to do this, and I don't have a whole lot of energy to spend, and I don't have a whole lot of time either. So I've got to really concentrate, and I've got to put my plan together. I'm going to kick vigorously. As I'm kicking, I can feel myself moving forward, and I'm going to drag. Here's the other problem. Snow. How do I get my ice picks through the snow, right? So I'm dragging, and I'm kicking, I'm dragging, I'm kicking, and I'm pausing, and I'm catching my breath, and I'm celebrating that little success, that, 12 inches or 20 centimeters, 30 centimeters that I'm gaining at a time. And I'm kicking, and I'm kicking, and I'm dragging, and I'm resting, and I'm celebrating that as well. Remember, I don't know how thick the ice is around my hole, right? I could fall through again at any time. I gotta be very careful with the weight that I put on my elbows. I gotta be really careful once I get up my torso up that I don't want to start rising like this and putting undue pressure. I want to keep myself flat, and I want to kick, and I want to get out. Once I get out of that hole, there's my opportunity to have a little bit of a breather. Think about, again, now my next plan, and I'm going to roll away from the ice. Typically the same direction that I came in, because I know the ice is better that way. I'm coming out this way just for the video purposes, but normally I would have turned around and pulled myself back the way I came, because I know it's safe back there. I could be going straight into thinner ice again. So this is just for demonstration purposes. Now, if you don't have ice picks, what are you gonna do? Do you have car keys? I think I have a set of car keys. Anything that's gonna give you that little purchase in the ice, right? Anything that you can just stab in there. Do you wear eyeglasses? I brought a pair of eyeglasses that, here they are, that I'm gonna wreck just for this purpose. Tear the arms off. That little bit right there sticking out might be enough. Might be enough. It might not be enough, but it might be enough for me to get just that little extra purchase that I need. Because clearly my hands, my gloves are wet, my hands are frozen, my teeth are chattering. To hopefully get out of there with all that and no assistance from some kind of tool, it's gonna be pretty tough. But remember, once you go in, orient yourself back the way you came and go that way. That's the safest ice. I just came from that direction.
So I'm Dr. Gordon Giesbrecht. I'm a professor emeritus at the University of Manitoba, and we're here with the Lifesaving Society to continue on our education as to what happens if someone falls through the ice. We've just learned how to do a self-rescue, which is basically arms on the ice, kick and pull. But before you do that, you should always have knowledge before you go out on the ice. It's part of preparing for the reasonable worst case scenario. And one thing is you should just have an idea, what happens if I do end up in cold water? And we have what's called the 1-10-1 principle. Lots of people think that if they end up in cold water, they're going to become hypothermic in minutes. And everybody knows that you can die of hypothermia. So if you think you'll die of hypothermia within minutes, you're likely to panic and not make good decisions. So the 1-10-1 principle is don't panic, because you have 1 minute to get your breathing under control, 10 minutes of meaningful movement, and an hour before you become unconscious due to hypothermia. So if you are just by yourself, just remember when you get in, it's going to feel terrible. And you'll be huffing and puffing, as it's called the cold shock response. What you need to do is get your breathing under control by taking some slow, deep breaths. That'll get your breathing under control. And we've done studies with people, and we find that after 1 minute, we say just survive the first minute. We've asked people who've been in the water without thermal protection on. After a minute, we say, okay, when you got in, if that was a 10 for discomfort, what is it now? And even after 1 minute, it goes down to like 5, 6, or 7. So you do have some time. Get your breathing under control, and then you've got 10 minutes of meaningful movement to try the kick and pull. And then if you realize that you're getting weaker each time you try it, if you're not able to get out, understand that you are never going to get stronger until you get out. So if you've tried for a number of minutes and you can't get out, then you want to just prepare. I call it widening the window of opportunity for someone else to come and rescue you. So arms on the ice, stop moving, and hopefully before you get to that 1 hour and you become unconscious, that you will freeze to the ice, because we know that people have been frozen to the ice and unconscious, but their heart's still beating. Someone has found them and been able to chip them out, get them out, and they have survived. So we've just seen Greg demonstrate the self-rescue system, which is basically kick and pull after you get your breathing under control. What happens if you're a bystander and you want to help rescue a victim who's broken through the ice? We basically say there are 3 different ways to do it, and we start with what's the safest to the most exposed, and safest means further from the hole. So before I even think about getting close to the hole, if I could do it from here, I'm much safer. And so the 3 levels are talk, throw, reach, but don't go. Very important. Unless you're trained and you have all the proper equipment, you don't want to go, because when you get close to there, guess what? He just broke through the ice. If I get up here because I'm going to be a hero and I try to grab him, I might break through the ice, and now both of us are in trouble. So we want to talk. Basically, I just wanted, if he doesn't know it, I'm going to teach him the kick and pull. I want to get him to, if I can get him to self-rescue, that's perfect. So, okay, all right, I want you to put your arms on the ice. By now he'll have, either his breathing will be under control, so we're not worried about the 1-10-1 anymore. All right, bud, so listen, look at me. Look at me, I want you to start kicking. Kick your feet. Now I want you to pull and kick towards me. Come, let's go. Pull, let's go, let's go. And you can yell and scream and do whatever it takes to motivate that person. Okay, great. If he gets out, then you just say, okay, crawl to me, come on, and then he'll come to you, and then you'll finally get up and get the shelter and get his clothes changed. All right, back in the hole. So that's talk. If either it's been too long and he can't understand or he's too cold to be able to physically do it, then the next thing is throw. You know, and what do you throw? Well, if you're snowmobiling, we tell people every snowmobile should have a throw bag in it. Not, you know, just go buy, doesn't matter what kind, but just go buy an actual bag of rope as opposed to, I'm gonna cut some rope or whatever. Cost you $25 and you're ready to go. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, okay, just watch out. I'm gonna throw this to you. And basically you throw it over him, and because that was a perfect throw, he's got it. Now I want him to wrap his arms around there. Okay, now I want you to kick and pull. Here we go, kick and pull. Perfect, great. Thanks, Greg, perfect. Okay, and we'll do one more. So now we've done talk and we've done throw. Basically, not a lot of things you can throw unless you happen to have a throw bag. And the next thing, I'm gonna have to get closer to reach. Now you probably all heard, you know, you could reach them with a tree branch or something, but even though there's trees, it's pretty hard to find a tree branch. It's very difficult to find anything to reach somebody with. But guess what? I've got something I can reach him with right now. I'm hoping he doesn't get this wet. I'm not giving this to him. I'm lending it to him for a moment. I want to stay as far away as possible. Anywhere close to there I could fall through. But I've got this jacket which has quite a length here, okay? So I can get here, and I should be, if I'm getting close, I'm gonna get down on my hands and knees to distribute my weight because I don't want to break through. And from as far away as possible, I want to see if I can reach him. That's not working. Okay, I might have to move a little bit closer. There we go. Okay, grab that. Okay, let's go. Kick and pull. Kick, buddy. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. All right. So we're going to assume, because he was walking here before, that we're all right. I'm going to put my jacket back on. And now we're going to get out of here, get him to out, at least sheltered, and hopefully to a place where we can change his clothes and get him dry and warm. There you go, bud.
There's always a possibility going through, even if you're pretty sure of what the ice conditions are. And not only that, but if it's not you, it could be somebody else that needs your help. So some of the equipment that we're looking at is, you know, just your standard throw bag. Great for boating, but really critical in the winter as well. These can clip onto your snowmobile handlebars. You can clip it onto your belt, have a couple with you. If you miss, you've got another one. Instead of trying to, here's that one that's been deployed already, right? It's really hard to reuse this bag and effectively throw it. So if you miss, it's always nice to have a spare. You can just unclip it, undo the rope, the tie, and throw the bag, and you're all set. As far as checking ice goes, multiple things. An axe, this is an ice axe for climbing, works great. Ski poles, also good for self-rescue as well. You can actually use it. This will work that way. An axe, a knife, anything that you have that you can effectively check ice with. I would put some thought into it though and make sure that you have a good tool. Just to wing it is probably not the best idea. Also, the whistle, get everybody's attention. You don't have a whole lot of time, even with a group. You still need to get people's attention. You may be 100 meters away when this event happens. And then lastly, but not least, some kind of an ice pick, some way to get yourself out of that hole. The other thing that we didn't talk about earlier was when you are getting out of the hole, there's a critical point right around the waist where if you have any buckles on your snowmobile suit, or even the belt buckle I find underneath my suit on my pants, can sometimes grab the edge of that hole. So that's another thought is what do I look like on the front of my body if I ever have to get out of the hole? Is there anything that's going to snag on the ice or create any difficulty? What you have around the house often works. You'll find something, and whatever you don't have, purchase. These two items are relatively cheap. You can get them both for about 50 bucks, and it's good for the summer. And then these are critical for getting out of the hole.
And what are some everyday items that people may have on them if they don't have these things that they can use to help them?
Right, multiple items. Car keys can work. If you've got, they're not very strong, So whatever you do have, make sure that you just have enough to get that purchase in the ice. I think I talked a little earlier, when you have deep snow, it's really, really tough. You might have to spend a little time making a spot to get your purchase in. I demonstrated eyeglasses. This is a pair I demonstrated earlier. I just broke the arm off, right? We've tested these in conditions with bare ice, and it actually does give a little bit of a purchase. Just a little bit sticking out like that, right there is enough, maybe just to drag you an inch at a time, to work your way out of that hole. So anything you can think about, but I strongly urge everybody put a little bit of thought into it, a little bit of planning into it. So the main message that we want to deliver is that all ice is unsafe until it's been checked. Also, we want to plan. Those two items are critical to enjoying a nice, safe experience in the winter on or near the ice. Have your throw bag, have your ice picks, have a plan, have an idea, get some training, make sure you know how thick the ice is, and help all the other people that are with you understand the hazards associated with what you're going to be doing. Plan for the weather, plan for the wind, plan for the snow, plan for everything. Think about it lots before you go, and you'll be safe and enjoy your winter.